Okay, so this video is just going to show you how to, if you ever needed to put some like feet on anything, I've got a little shelf on the top of my desk that's got a couple of little feet on there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then all I want you to do now is draw as much of it you can yourself, like some of the furniture, but then any of the complicated stuff we're going to use 3D Warehouse do instead. So I've just got a little set of drawers on the top, so what I need to do is select my rectangle tool. This time I'm going to show you how you can kind of just do it by a bit of guesswork just to help out. So I'm just looking at my desk now and it kind of sits about there, so I'm not going to get too hung up on exactly perfect measurements because I want to move on a little bit. So I'm just going to draw a little shelf. It's only a little wooden shelf. I'm going to triple click like we always do and make it a component. So that bit's fairly normal, but this next bit is going to be how we put the feet on. So this is normally sits about there and then there'll be some little legs underneath it, but what I'm going to do is, bear with me, I'm going to move this right up so it's nice and high. Don't worry about that too much at the moment. The reason I've moved it up nice and high is so I can see underneath it, because that's where the legs are going to come out of. So I'm going to do that. Then, because I do want things to be fairly accurate, I'm going to use the tape measure tool and I'm going to create a little line that comes out roughly where I want the feet to be, and you'll notice the numbers there, but it will draw a line right the way across. So let's say I'm going to go for 80, and then what I can do is I can draw exactly the same line that comes out 80 on the other side, so I've got a good idea of that. And then I'm just going to draw a little line that comes down here, and let's make that let's go for 40, sure, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. Now all I'm doing here is just creating these points, which is where, and I click down on the square tool, I'm going to get my circle tool up, and it means I can just draw the feet in the right place. We'll make those 20 millimeters. Actually, they look a bit fat. Let's make those 10 millimeters. Make that 10. So they're all in the right place and they're all the right size. You wouldn't have to do that, but it's just really good to get used to making things in SketchUp the right way. Then before I do anything else, I'm going to click on each one of these lines with the select tool, and I'm just going to delete it so it looks nice and neat. I haven't got these dotted lines everywhere. And then what I can do is, using the push pull tool, I'm going to pull all of these down, and they look like they're down by about 15 centimeters, so 150 millimeters. And then I'm going to do the same for this one and the other two. So I've then got this all in one place and they're all the same height. The final bit I will be doing is I will make everything on this a component. So to do that, I need to click on this, then I'm going to press the shift button on my keyboard and I'm going to triple click the other bits. So now what I've got is everything selected, right click and make that a component. So what I've now got is everything in the same direction and the same kind of material. I can then move that back down really carefully. So you notice to begin with, I'm just going to move it and I'm trying to get the little blue trail behind. So I want to stick to the wall and I'm just going to slide it down the wall until we get pretty close. Oh, don't want that protractor thing coming up, so until we get pretty close, and then we can just rest it on the surface like so. So it now sits on the surface and looks somewhat similar to what I've got in real life. If you can now go and draw as much of the shapes and objects in your room that are nice and simple as you can, but don't panic with all of the complicated ones. We'll come back to those later on.